ओम ज्ञान ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। व्याप्तिर्यस्य निजे निजेन मनसा पक्षे सपक्षे स्थिति व्यवृत्तिश्च विपक्षतोत्त विषय शक्तिर्न वै बाधिते। नैवास्ति प्रतिपक्षयुक्तिरतुलं शुद्धं प्रमाणं समे भूयात् तत्त्वविनिर्णयाय भगवान् आनन्दतीर्थो मुनि। श्रीमदानंद तीर्थार्य सन्मनः सरसि भुवि अनुव्याख्यान नलिने चंचरी गति में मनः। सनातनं रूपम इहोपदर्शयन् आनंद सिंधु परितः प्रवर्धयन् अंतस्तमस्तोम हरस्स राजतां चैतन्य रूपो विदुरद्भुतोदयः। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome you all for the next session of Vedānta Syamantaka. I hope my voice is clear. There are no issues. So after we discuss the pramana section, the different types of pramanas and which one is used in what circumstance, we discussed that in detail. So one thing we understood is that for atindriya, for things which are not graspable by the senses, pratyaksha pramana will not work. And there are some things for which anumana will also not work. So things like atma, paramatma, dharma, adharma, all those things are there. These things we cannot perceive just by senses. So for example, if you want to come up with what is ethical and what is unethical, what is right and what is wrong, just the senses cannot decide that. So we require something superior. So for that, Shabdha Pramana is required. Apta Vakyam Shabdam. And in Shabdha also we saw that Purusha has four doshas: Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa and Karnapata. Because of these four defects, we cannot rely on Purusha Shabdas. Ultimately, it was well established that Apurusha is the highest authority. And Vedas being not created by anyone, they are the Apurusha Granthas, and everything which is in line with the Vedas, which is in line with Apurusha, is also accepted as Sat Pramana or Sadagama. So it's also valid evidence. Now, having got all this background, now we have entered into Prameya section. So the first Prameya is Ishvara. So the 5 topics that are discussed in Bhagavad Gita: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. In that we are discussing about Ishvara. Ishvara means controller. So, Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu, just a minute. Yes, Prabhu, you have something to say? Hare Krishna. Your voice is very low, Prabhu. I'm not able to hear. Yes, Prabhu. You are trying to say something. Your voice is very low. I'm not able to grasp. No, Prabhu, I'm not able to follow what you say. My mistake, I think. I'll mute it. Yes, Prabhu. So, now, who is Ishvara? So, generally, if you Anyone who is accustomed to Vedas or Vedic culture, this concept is not so clear. Somebody may say their Ishta Devata is there, their Kula Devata is there, their Grama Devata is there. Then there is Indra, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, Vayu. So many big list of devatas are there. So general idea is that all these are powerful, and the Vedas also similarly deal. So if we are defining Vayu Sukta, there it is mentioned about the supremacy of Vayu, all pervasiveness of Vayu. Similarly, Agni Sukta, then Shri Sukta, Purusha Sukta, everywhere their glories are described. Now, it might at times get confusing to the reader as to what is actually genuine. Just a minute, please be. So, because of lack of clarity, it might lead to confusion. So, the students of Bhagavad Gita are quite clear about it because they say that it is the Purushottama who is superior, the Supreme Lord Krishna who is the Sri Bhagavan. So, but initially it can be confusing as to who plays what role and how much to revere whom. All those things can be a little confusing. So, when we get into Upanishads, because we are accustomed to worshipping deities, we are accustomed to worshipping persons. We offer flower garland to somebody, we offer food to somebody. Then we are conditioned in a particular way. We are accustomed in a particular way that we ask so and so person and he gives us. We ask so and he gives us. So the greatness of the person who is receiving is not clear to us. That is why Upanishads speak in more abstract ways like Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma or Tattvamasi uh, or Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. It speaks in a more abstract terms, like there is something called Brahman, Napunsakalinga Shabdha. So the Brahma is actually absolute truth, and that absolute truth is Nirguna, is without qualities, and Sarva Vyapi, it's everywhere. Then one who understands that he himself becomes Brahma, himself becomes the absolute truth, and Tattvamasi, that is the absolute truth. Then Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahman, everything is absolute truth. So the Upanishads explain it like this just to break our conditioning. Our conditioning that I will ask so and so, I will get whatever I want. We are accustomed to that conditioning. So just to break this conditioning, Upanishads explain Parabrahma like this. However, there are enough Shastric references to say that there is a particular person, and that person is Narayana, who is the Parabrahma. So, different personalities we are accustomed to, especially the Trimurtis that are very famous. Who are the Trimurtis?
Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Yes, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. These are the Trimurtis. They are very famous, and everyone considers them topmost. So, here it is mentioned that Brahma and Rudra also have birth. You see in this Shatapatha Brahmana, Shatpatha Brahmana, it is said that after a year, a boy was born and cried. Prajapati Brahma asked, "Oh boy, why are you crying? Since you have been born after exertion and austerity?" The boy replied, "I am not free from sin. Please give me some name so that my sin may be removed." So, from Prajapati Brahma, a boy was born, and as soon as he was born, he was crying. So, Rodhana, he was involved in Rodhana, and because he was involved in Rodhana, he was called Rudra. Rudra comes from Rodhana. So, anybody who cries, he can be considered Rudra. So, that is why
That is why
the name can
the
be
name.
assigned. Why is my voice echoing? Hare Krishna. The name can be assigned to multiple persons. So, Now this boy, he didn't have a name. He was just crying, crying, crying. So then Brahma asked, "Why are you crying?" Then he said, "I am a very sinful person." It is also mentioned in the Kapil Muni's teachings to Devahuti, Tirthena Murdnenditena Shiva Shivo Bhut. He was a Shiva initially when he was born because he was crying and he was lamenting and he was angry. He was born when Brahma was angry. So the whole thing was inauspicious, the birth. Somebody was angry and he was born and he was crying. So he was a Shiva. Whereas when the lotus water from the lotus feet of Vishnu fell on his head, tirthena murdhane tirthena, when he held the tirtha, the charanamrita of Vishnu on his head, then Ashiva became Shiva. So he became auspicious. That is mentioned in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So similarly, he was crying, and then he was given a name. He was given the name Shiva, and that way he was freed from the sin. So this Namakarana Samskara that is given to everyone after birth. So that is very important because all these 16 samskaras are necessary to make a Susamskrita person. Samskrita means cultured person. So just like rice as it is not usable. So to make the rice usable, what we do is we boil it. We put it in water, we boil it, and once boiled, that rice is usable. It can be consumed. So that processing is called samskara on the rice. So samskara makes the unusable usable. So similarly, when the human has to become usable, there should be samskara on him. That is why Prabhupada says unwanted progeny. Unwanted progeny as Varna Sankara because they are not wanted. Why they are not wanted? Because they have not been made usable. They have been just born like animals without samskaras. So asamskrita. Whereas the children who receive Shodasha Samskaras, they are Samskrita and they are usable to the society and they are beneficial to the society. So they are wanted population. So these samskaras remove the sins from the person. So even the name giving, it's not just that you start calling them with a particular name. It is a samskara and the samskara helps to erase the sins of our past life which we have come with. So that is why the Nama was given to the Rudra, and because the Rudra was given the name, he started. I mean, his sins came down and he became more pious. He really became Shiva, auspicious. Now, what happens is that there are some shlokas mm, which make us feel that these names like Mahesha, Rudra, Brahma, Indra, they all refer to the Supreme Lord Vishnu only. They don't seem to be different from Vishnu. So Indra itself demonstrates Vishnu. Okay, before that, there are other things. In the Vishnu Purana, there is this shloka, Brahma Narayana Kyosau Kalpado Vividhatmanam Sruštva Lokan Sada Vishnus Tishtatyante cha Samharan. Brahma, known as Narayana, at the beginning of creation, create the worlds. Vishnu sustain and dissolve them. It seems to indicate here that Brahma was known as Narayana at the beginning of creation and he created, and the same as Vishnu, he dissolved. He who is Vishnu is Rudra. Rudra is Hari. The one Lord appears in two forms, Vishnu and Hara. That is mentioned in Hari Vamsha. Similarly, in Vishnu Purana, it says that then the Supreme Lord Vishnu created Brahma for the creation of the world and again performed creation himself. Further, Vishnu Purana says Vishnu creates Rudra and appoints him as an agent of cosmic dissolution. So, there are some shlokas like this which contradict, which are saying there is one more shloka. I was searching for it. Just a minute. Uh, Okay. Okay. So I will, as soon as I get it, I will share with all of you. So the shloka says that Vishnu is Rudra and Rudra is Vishnu. They are not different from each other. That is what the shloka says. So, hmm, I think it is the same Harivamsha shloka. He who is Vishnu is Rudra, Rudra is Hari. The one Lord appears in two forms, Vishnu and Hara. Okay, I think it is the same shloka. So there are shlokas like this that can be conflicting with the understanding, that can give birth to the understanding that there are many gods. And these are quite famous. Many people use these shlokas. Actually, the idea among the people is that the followers of Shankaracharya believe in many gods and the followers of Vishnu believe in Vishnu. There is also an idea that the followers of Shankaracharya believe in Shiva and the followers of Vishnu believe in Vishnu. But these are not the right things, because if you actually study the Sharirika Bhashya, the teachings of Shankaracharya, he says that the absolute truth is the topmost and he doesn't attribute any top position to any of the deities like Shiva or Brahma, or he says that any of these forms, they are all illusory. The absolute truth is beyond all this. So he actually accepts there is one absolute truth. Only thing is that he has not attributed form to that absolute truth. He doesn't believe that the Parabrahma is Vishnu. He doesn't he doesn't preach that the Parabrahma is Vishnu. That is the only difference. Otherwise, in one sense, no Vedantist accepts other devatas in line with Vishnu or the Parabrahma. All of them understand that they are in a lower position in the material world. Uh, so that is one thing we should understand. Now, how to deal with these statements. So here there are some Shruti Pramanas, because ultimately Shruti is the topmost. Uh, Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedascha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam hi devam Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshuva Sharanamaham Prapadde. He who created Brahma and gave him the Vedas. I seek refuge in the radiant Lord who reveals himself in the soul and intellect. In the Narayana Upanishad it says, Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Prajapate Prajayate. This is mentioned in Narayana Upanishad, that from Narayana comes Brahma, Rudra, Indra and all the Prajapatis. Everyone come from Narayana only. And it is further says, Ahameva swayamidam vadami justam devebhi rutamanushebhi yankamaye tantamugram krunomi tam brahmanam tam rishim tam somedham. Whomever I desire, I make them strong. If I want, I make Brahma strong. If I want, I make some Rishi strong. If I want, I make some intelligent person strong. Whomever I desire, I make them mighty. So that makes it quite clear that it is the supreme absolute truth which is more powerful than others, and there is a difference between the deities also. So that makes it clear. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18 chapter, 21st shloka says, the water from the nails of Mukunda's feet offered by Brahma to Shiva purifies the universe. Who else can be the supreme? So further, it says that this water from the lotus feet of Mukunda is offered by Brahma to Lord Shiva, and that um, purifies. Okay, Shivasya Hridayam Vishnur, Vishnoscha Hridayam Shiva. Yes, Shiva Vishnum Ekam Janati Sa Nipatate. It is further in the Puranas, it is mentioned Vishnu is the heart of Shiva and Shiva is the heart of Vishnu. One who sees them as one does not fall into error. This was the shloka I was looking for. So there are shlokas like this also in the Shruti, in the Puranas. शुभस्य श्री विष्णुर यह गुणनामादि सकलम धिया भिन्नम पश्येत सकलो हरिनाम हितकरः. One who sees the difference in qualities and names of auspicious Vishnu is surely an offender to the holy name. This is also there that within Vishnu you should not see the difference between his name, between his qualities, between his pastime. You should understand that they are all same. So within Vishnu, within the absolute truth, there is no difference. Now at the same time, how to deal with this shlokas like this, that Vishnu is the heart of Shiva and Shiva is the heart of Vishnu. The one who sees them as one does not fall down. So there are shlokas like this also in the yes. However, at the same time, we find these shlokas in the Mahabharata. It is declared that it was Lord Hari who came to rescue during the calamity created by Tripurasura. Lord Vishnu is the soul of the venerable Lord Shiva of unlimited prowess. Therefore, Shiva could bear the touch of that bow and its string. What happened is when the Tripurasura had created an illusory town and he was hiding there, and from there he was attacking the Devatas, nobody could see. A special bow was needed for that, and that special bow, when given to Shiva, he was not able to touch it. What to speak of stringing it? It was so powerful that he was not even able to touch it. What to speak of stringing? So, when Vishnu gave him the power, that is when he was actually able to make that change. He was able to string it and use it to kill the demon Tripurasura. O best of the Kurus, formerly Brahma described in the Vishnu Panjara prayers for the protection of Shankara who desired to destroy Tripurasura. See, when he was going to attack Tripurasura, it is his father, Lord Brahma, who prayed to Vishnu, please protect him so that he will be able to successfully carry out his mission. So, this is not the only case. Even in the case of what is his name? Even in the case of Banasura, it was Lord Krishna, it was Rudra who was protected by Vishnu only. By the stupor weapon Jrimbanastra, Lord Govinda made Shankara fall into a stupor, after which the demons and goblins were killed on all sides. Being overwhelmed by stupor, Shiva just sat down on his chariot and then was unable to fight with Krishna, who performs any activities with ease. See, for Lord Shiva to perform various activities are quite easy. He's a very powerful person. But then, just because of this one weapon, Jrimbanastra, he started getting Jrimbana. Jrimbana means yawning. He started continuously yawning, and we can imagine when we just get up from the sleep and we are yawning, we can't even get up from the bed, we can't even move. I just realized 2 hours ago, I was sleeping and I just woke up. I had to take my daughter to the doctor for some medication. Feeling so lazy, it took 5 minutes for me to get out of that slumber and wash my face and then go. So that was the situation of Shiva when Krishna sent this. He just sat and he was yawning. He could not do anything. So such a powerful person who has destroyed great demons, such a mighty powerful person could not do anything because of the presence of Krishna's powerful weapon. So it is further mentioned in the Ramayana that strong-armed Shiva then became paralyzed merely by Lord Vishnu's roar, and Shiva's bow became unstrung due to his Lord Vishnu's prowess. Seeing that, the demigods, accompanied by a host of sages, considered Vishnu superior. So automatically, in these incidents, it's quite clear that how Vishnu's superiority is demonstrated. In the Mahabharata, it is further said that while fighting with Lord Narayana, Lord Rudra decided to kill him. And upon being instructed by Brahma, Rudra surrendered unto Lord Narayana, and therefore he was protected by him. Rudra propitiated the Supreme Lord Narayana and took shelter under him, the primeval Lord Hari, the most exalted benefactor. Now, this discussion here is more on Shruti Pramanas. That is why there is not much of other things to add. Although I'll be adding a few comments, but then the Shruti Pramanas I'll be going through because they are quite important. While holding the poison, Rudra was reciting the Achyutananta Govinda mantra, the best mantra in Anushtup Mitar, adding Om in the beginning and Nama at the end. So that was his Pancharatra mantra. Those who are having second initiation know that there are Pancharatra mantras that the Guru gives to the disciple. So these Pancharatra mantras have to be chanted every day thrice. So Achyutananta Govinda and these Pancharatra mantras are given with Pranava, Omkara. And after that there is at the end there is Namaha, I offer obeisances to you, Chaturthi Vibhakti. So all these things are there in the Pancharatra mantra. Actually speaking, if we go more deep into Shastras, we realize that there are different levels at which people are given these mantras. For example, the Purushas are given Omkara, whereas three Shudra Dvijabandhus, those who are not Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, the Stris and Shudras, they are given without Pranava. They are given the mantra without Omkara. And when it further goes down to Mlechas and Yavanas, who are outcast, to them just the name of the Lord is given. For example, it is Achyutananta Govinda or Narayana. Just the name Narayana or Govinda is given. So, interestingly, the system of initiations that is there in Krishna consciousness movement, where initially we are given the Hare Krishna mantra. This Hare Krishna mantra is the most powerful mantra. It is without the pranava, without the omkara, and without the Chaturthi Vibhakti that we are offering to the Lord. So that is given to people who are outcasts. So initially, person who are not Susamskrita, who are not into the samskara, they are given this mantra. Now only the purified one who are eligible to become Dvijas are given the further mantras. That too further mantras with pranava for the higher classes. And Brahma Gayatri is given to the highest class of people who are ready to learn the Vedas. So Prabhupada, the system that was instituted by our previous acharyas is so perfect in line with this. So here Achyutananta Govinda mantra that Rudra was reciting, that was saving him while holding the poison during the hala hala. When he was drinking the hala hala, we all know that he drank and he tied a snake and it did not harm him. So we are saying that it is the glory of Rudra that he is able to take the poison and his kanta becomes Neela, blue kanta. That is why he is called Neela Kanta. But then the real power is coming from the Achyutananta Govinda mantra recitation that he is doing. That is actually saving him. So, this is the point that we should understand, that these devatas are actually dependent on Vishnu. So, because of their dependency, that they are not independently supreme. Whereas Narayana himself is independently supreme, and independently he assigns the names to different devas. So Krishna, Narayana is the Rudra, original Rudra. Narayana is the Mahesha, Maha Isha. The real supreme Isha is Narayana. The real supreme, what is that? Shiva, the most auspicious is Narayana. And the real supreme Indra, Indra Idgatino Bruhat, Indram Arkebir Arkina. That Idgatino, from Id comes the word Indra, the supreme, the topmost, is actually Narayana. The Narayana is the real Indra. He assigns his names to different people based on the qualities they demonstrate. Like Shiva demonstrated auspiciousness, so he gave him the name Shiva. He assigned him the name. Similarly, Brahma. Even during our Namakarana ceremony, we are given different names. Gopijanna Vallabha Das, Govinda Das, Gopala Das, Ramaprameya Das, Achyutananta Das. So many names are given. So it is Narayana who is assigning the names, and that is why we become the dasa of the particular name of Narayana. So this is a very important point we should understand, that ultimately everything is the name of Narayana only. Just that the names are assigned to different people based on their abilities they demonstrate in limited proportions. That's why in the 11th, in the 10th chapter, the last shloka, it says, no, yat yat vibhuti mat sattvam. All the greatness that exists, all the glories that exist, anything that is wondrous, anything that is glorious, anything that is considered great in this world, the great demon, the great tree, the great mountain, anything that is considered great, the great weapons, everything is attributed somehow or the other to Narayana only, to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So, that is why everything in the world is actually coming from Vishnu only. All the vibhutis are coming from him. He assigns the different entities their limited powers so that within their capacity they can carry the operations. So when we are studying the Vedic Suktas, that is at that time when we say, I told you, Ashwini Kumaras give good health to people. So the real Ashwini Kumara is Lord Narayana, and when he gives health to people, he gives in full proportion, unlimited good health. Whereas when the same sukta is used to glorify the individual Ashwini Kumara, you have to add the Visheshana, you have to add the adjective that they give good health within their capacity. Within their capacity, they assign good health to the people. So similarly, when Indra gives strength through the grains, he gives within his capacity. Whereas when the same sukta glorifies the Supreme Lord, it is meant that the Supreme Lord Indra gives unlimited strength and unlimited results of what the same mantra gives. So this is how we should understand the different names of Vishnu, the different names attributed to Vishnu in the Vedic Suktas. Now, this is very clearly described in the Purushottama Yoga, 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Purushottama Yoga is very important chapter to understand. Why it is so important is that it gives the essence of all the Bhagavad Gita. You see, what is 14th chapter? What does it speak about?
The three modes of material nature.
Yes, it speaks about the three modes of material nature. Now it's quite clear that everyone is bound by the three modes of material nature. Helplessly, we are not able to come out of it, correct? Now, what is the way out? Shuddha Sattva, the ultimate spiritual platform, is the way out. But the point is that somehow, after coming to Krishna consciousness, we forget over a period of time that we are still bound by three modes. We think somehow that we have come to Shuddha Sattva because we are chanting the holy name, we are beyond these three modes. So once we think that we are devotees, we are into devotional service, so three modes don't affect us, we are transcendental and we are all going back to God. But is this the reality? Are we freed from anger, or are we freed from lust, or are we freed from greed? What is the reality? Hare Krishna. What do you think? What is the reality?
Not free.
We might be chanting Hare Krishna since 10 years, since 15 years, since 20 years. How many years of chanting Hare Krishna frees us from all this? What is the practical experience?
There is no fixed time.
Kaura Prabhu, can you be a little loud?
There is no fixed time.
Yes, yes. In reality, are we experiencing that? We have been freed from all this.
It's reducing a little bit, Prabhu.
Yes, it is reducing. Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu, what do you say?
Holy name is powerful, but our desire to go back to God it is not.
Yeah, so we are the obstacle actually. We are not able to take the full effect of holy name onto us. So, three modes are still acting on us. That is why the 15th chapter of Purushottama Yoga, what is our binding in this material world is very important to understand. The binding is compared to a banyan tree. Banyan tree spread everywhere, and once you allow the banyan tree to grow, we become negligent of it. After a few years, it becomes too difficult to completely erupt, completely cut it out. We start cutting from one side, we start cleaning it, and by the time other side we go, there is rain and some root will be left in the ground, it will sprout. Similarly, our desires are so spread everywhere. In all directions, our desires are so spread. We try to control one desire, two desire, three desire, fourth desire. By the time we control the 10th desire, the first desire again would have erupted from somewhere. How many times has it happened that We suddenly desire that I want to go to some movie, or I want to eat that tasty food which I had eaten earlier. It happens with all of us, right? In our life, some desire. It may be this. So, this our binding, we should understand where we are. So, this uh, Ashwatha Vriksha example Krishna gives just to understand our binding. Now, do you think it is possible to cut out that binding so easily? No, Asanga Shastrena Drunena Chitva, it requires great determination that this lifetime I am just going to cut it. Whereas people like us, we cannot have that determination for a long time. There are people who join full time. And once they join full time, 1 year, they will be very strong brahmacharya ashram. Yes, I am dedicating my life 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. But consistently, long terms, it is not practical for everyone to remain. Even when you join Grahastha ashram also, still, okay, there are some senses, we have some facility for sense enjoyment, but still, it is not possible to overcome these anarthas. That is why, unless you understand, you take the shelter of Vedas, these things cannot come out. Vedas provide a safety net in which the culture, the procedures, the rituals, the karmas that it gives. For example, there is Sandhya Vandana karma every day that has to be done. And then there is Deva Puja, that every day you have to worship the Lord. Then there are yajnas recommended for grahasthas to perform. The yajnas are Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, Kamya karma. There are different karmas that the grahasthas have to perform. So there are various, according to his varna and ashrama, he has to perform prescribed duties. So all those things are meant to gradually elevate a person so that this Asanga Shastra becomes more and more strong and we'll be able to cut out of this. Okay, so but the problem with Vedas is that Vedas glorify different deities. It sometimes glorifies Rudra, it sometimes glorifies Shiva, it sometimes glorifies Indra, every time it glorifies different deities. So then what to do? One thing people do is they give up Vedas. No, 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 all these things no need to do. We will no need to do any karma, no need to take shelter of Vedas, nothing doing, because then we will fall down into karma kanda. But then when we try that, problem with us is that we will be bound by 3 modes. If we don't take up to Purushottam Yoga, we'll fall into 14th chapter, 3 modes. We'll be bound by that. So when we come beyond for 14th chapter to 15th chapter, we have to actually take shelter of this. But taking shelter of this, there are so many devatas. So Krishna gives an excellent solution for that. He says that Vedescha sarver ahamaiva vedya Vedānta krut veda videha cham. Dvauvimo purusho loke ksharashchakshara evacha ksharas sarvani bhutani kutastokshara. See, there are 2 types of living entities, I know. One is conditioned souls and another is liberated souls. Both these entities exist, I know that. Okay, but I am Uttama Purusha. I am superior to both these. I am superior to conditioned souls. I am superior to liberated souls also. If you meditate on me and every action you do for my satisfaction, and every Vedic sukta, every Vedic mantra, everything you understand that I am the only person who is glorified, nobody else is glorified, then your problem is solved. So with Purushottama Yoga, we can actually overcome this conditioning that we are in. So that is why this understanding that it is ultimately Lord Narayana who is glorified in all the Vedas is very important. Then we will be able to perform our Nitya Naimittika Kame karmas also properly. And by performing these karmas, Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu, we do it with the objective, with the understanding that everything I am offering to Vishnu, nothing for myself. That way I will not be entangled in any of these things. So that is why this understanding this section is very, very critical. Otherwise, we'll become some sort of a fanatic. One type of either we'll become a fanatic that I will not worship anybody, I will worship Vishnu and I am beyond the 3 modes. Of course, we have to worship only Vishnu, but then I am beyond the 3 modes. No karma will bind me, no actions, and I have no responsibility I have. But then such a renounced sannyasa life will not last long. We might have to eventually enter Grahastha ashram. We have responsibility towards wife or children. There will be difficulties in this. So some karma for yajna is recommended. Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Karma bandhana is possible when we don't do for yajna. So even today, if you see, because we are not taking up to Vedic occupations, of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, we have to take up to jobs which are outside, which are sinful. And what those jobs are doing, they are not supporting yajna. They are anti to yajna. So many times our devotees don't get leave on Janmashtami, on Ram Navami. They are not able to get it because those are not in direct connection with yajna. Yajnarthat karmano nitya. That is why they are causing karma bandhana some way or the other. So if we take up to those things which are Veda centered, then things will be more smoother. They will be directly contributing to yajna. So that is what we have to understand how to do that by becoming this. So we will not be fanatic if we are like that. And at the same time, we will not be irresponsible towards our family dealings, our responsibilities to society and all those things. So these are some things I thought of adding. This understanding of Purushottama Yoga becomes critical. Okay. Now there is one more thing I will add about Narayana, then I'll take questions for this section. So the word Narayana. So Narayana comes from two words. One is Nara and one is Ayana. Nara means man, human being. It means any living being also is Nara. Or the cosmic waters, the Kshirodaka Samudra or Garbhodaka Samudra, Karanodaka Samudra, that waters are also called Nara. These are the three meanings that are there. Now, Ayana means shelter, where man takes shelter. Naranam Ayana. All the men where they take shelter. So there is a samasa. Samasa means compound word. Those who are those who know Sanskrit know these things. Still, I will try to. Every word sometimes what happens is words combine to form compound words. For example, Rama Ishvara becomes Rameshwara. Okay, that is a compound word. Dharma Kshetra. Dharmasya Kshetra, the place where dharma is performed. So Dharma and Kshetra join to become one big word called Samasa, Samastapada. Similarly, Nara is one pada, one word, indicating man or living being or cosmic water, and Ayana is the resting place or ultimate goal. So ultimate goal for all humans is Narayana. Nara plus Ayana, Narayana. Now, there is a rule in Samskrita called Rinatva. If you see, Krishna becomes Krishnena. Okay, whereas Rama becomes Ramena. Krishnena, Ramena. So that na becomes na. Because of some things, when ra, sha are there prior to that, so then na becomes na. So, and Krishna, because na is in between, so there is no need of another na. So in Krishna, it doesn't become na. So don't worry too much about this complex Sanskrit things, but still to give some clarity, I introduced it to that. Similarly, Narayana, because ra is there, it becomes na, Narayana. Now, this change of na to na is significant because it is not that there are many shelters to human beings. For example, Brahma. Brahma is the creator. Now, this Brahma today is the creator. In the next creation, there will be another Brahma who will be creator. Now, Rudra is the destroyer. There will be another Rudra who will be taking that position. So, it is a post. It is a post where different people can fill it. Whereas Narayana is not like that. When Na becomes Na, for confirm, it is just one person who is the supreme shelter of everyone. So the supreme shelter cannot be changing posts. So for all human beings or for all living beings or for all the cosmic waters, today somebody is the supreme. Somebody is the shelter, tomorrow somebody else is the shelter. That doesn't happen like that. That is why the Narayana word itself means that he is the eternally, since time immemorial and for time forever in future, he will be the only one who will be the Narayana, who will be the ultimate goal or the supreme shelter. So this is the understanding of the word Narayana. That is why Narayana Upanishad, it says Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate. Brahma and Rudra originate from Narayana. Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam. he instructed earlier the science to Brahma, the science of Shastras, he instructed to Brahma. Who? That Supreme Lord. Shivasya Hridayam, no, this is again the whole thing, the Smriti thing. So ultimately the conclusion is that there is one Supreme Narayana, and that is a person that is not a post like Brahma or Rudra or others which are changeable, or Indra which are changeable. To present, Indra is a person called Purandara, whereas the next Indra will be Bali Maharaj. Similarly, there is a person who is going to be the future Brahma. Similarly, there will be a person who will be going to be the future Rudra. All these things will change, but with Narayana, these things will not change. So this is why we should clearly conclude that Narayana is different from others, and everyone else are dependent on him. They are not independent from him. Okay. So any doubts till now you can ask. Hare Krishna. Are there any doubts? Okay. As you are thinking on the doubts, there is one more thing I will add here. So, in the Mahabharata, it is mentioned that Maya Shreh Pura Brahma Madhyajnam Ajat Swayam Tatha Tasya Varam Prito Dadav Aham Anuttaman Mat Putratvam Cha Kalpadav Lokadhyakshatvam Evacha. So Brahma worshipped Vishnu, and in this way he received the post of a creator. So Brahma became Brahma after getting benediction from Vishnu. Similarly, it is further mentioned that Vishwarupa Mahadeva Sarvamede Mahakritau Juhava Sarva Bhutani Swayam Atmanam Atmana. Shiva offers himself and all beings in the universe as a sacrifice, showing devotion and submission. So once it so happened that Shiva offered his own self as a sacrifice, as a ahuti to the yajna, and he offered all the living entities in the universe. That way, because of such a great offering, Shiva became Lord of Devas. And it is not that just inherently he was Shiva, or he was so powerful. Because he did this, Vishnu granted him this benediction. So there is a dependence that by performing so and so act or pleasing Supreme Lord by his mercy, he was able to get the portion. Whereas such thing doesn't happen with Vishnu. It is not that he did something to become Vishnu. So when Brahma, actually the Hayagriva stole the Vedas from Brahma, and he was hiding in the ocean. Hayagriva was a demon. He stole the Vedas, and it was Vishnu who came and rescued, who saved the uh, Vedas, and that way he was actually this. Once it so happened that Rudra became very angry with Brahma, and he became very angry with Brahma, and he cut his head. One of his heads he cut because of his anger. He pierced, and because of that, what happened is that the life became sinful. He was cursed. He was cursed by Brahma, and he became to be known as Kapali. Kapali means who wears the garland of heads, bones. So the head bone, which is there, the skull. He wears a garland of skulls. That is why he is known as Kapali, and he started wearing this because of the curse of Brahma, killing Brahma or cutting one of his heads. And this Brahma Hatya Papa, actually, it was Vishnu who saved him from this Brahma Hatya Papa. So that is why there is a dependency of other Devadas on Vishnu, whereas with Vishnu, that is not there. He is completely independent. Hare Krishna. Now, please ask me what questions you have.
So, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Mohan Radha.
So, that by Natva, how Narayana, means how by that Natva we are proving that this refers, this establishes the supremacy of the Lord Narayana.
Yes.
I
Good
didn't get
question
that.
you asked. I will tell you. If you write Narayana without
Yes.
Natva, Narayana, then that means that Nara is different, Ayana is different. So for all the Naras, there is Ayana. They are two separate entities. That is the Visheshana Vishesha Sambandha. Means there is a relationship between the two words, whereas it doesn't become one word. It doesn't refer to one entity. When the Natva happens, that time the whole Narayana becomes one entity. It doesn't become two words. So that way, because it becomes one word, it actually refers to one divine form. It is not some general thing referred to general people. It becomes one divine form, and that way it is the Natva is significant here. This is what is explained here. Narayana could have been a title, but then when Na is applied, Narayana, it is finished. It is just one common word, and that refers to just one person. There is no second person there.
Okay. Is there something similar in the word Krishna also?
Krishna karshayati iti Krishna. No, Krishna by rule of grammar only it becomes Na. Here it is Vikalpa. Either you can use Na or not use Na. Here. If you don't use it, means something else. And whereas in Krishna, because Sh is there, you have to put Na.
So when we when we tell the meaning of the word Narayana, so this meaning that the shelter of all the living beings. So that is that correct?
He is the ultimate shelter of all living beings and irreplaceable shelter. Like that you have to say. Na makes it irreplaceable. If it was just Narayana, then you could say yes, he is the shelter of all living beings. He is the shelter of all the oceans, cosmic oceans, and he is the ultimate goal of everyone. Yes, but he could be replaceable. That could mean. But when we say Narayana, that means irreplaceable.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, where you were telling those statements about taking Vishnu and Shiva to be similar, like Vishnu meditates on the heart of Shiva, Shiva meditates on the heart of Vishnu.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, like how should we actually interpret it? Is it functional form that they are the same, or
Very good question you asked. See, when we do the Sandhyavandana every day, so nowadays what we are taught is just we chant Gayatri, but there is a whole procedure that you have to do Achmana, you have to do Sankalpa, then you have to put water, Jalavimantranam, put water on your body, and then you do Argya Pradana. You should hold water in our hand, offer it to Surya and leave it as Argya. So 3 times we are supposed to do Argya to Surya. So when we do Argya to Surya, Savitra Namak Narayana, Suryantargata Savitra Namak Narayana, Idam Argyam Samarpyami. I am giving this Argya to the Narayana who is inside the Surya. And his name is Savita. Yachak Suresha Savita Sakala Grahanam. So Savita is the Narayana who is staying in Surya. So that Savitra Namak Narayana, I am offering Argya. So we are actually offering Argya to the Antargata. So similarly, when Shiva is in Vishnu, you should understand that he is a part of Vishnu because Amshi, he is dependent on him. Whereas when Vishnu is in Shiva, he is there as an Antaryami Paramatma, as the Paramatma inside him to control him. So that is how we should understand this concept that Supreme Lord exists in every living entity and he is controlling him.
okay?
Yes.
Prabhuji, you were telling about how Shiva was inauspicious at the start, and once he received the water from the leg of Vishnu, then he became auspicious. He got the name Shiva. But Prabhuji, in Bhagavatam 3.12.12, where Brahmaji is giving 11 names of Rudra, there he gave the name Shiva already to him. So this is confusing that that did it happen after, but it was not, Ganga didn't come there.
No, it is not Ganga. It is Brahma took the water of what washed at Vishnu's feet and then sprinkled it. It is not the after the Ganga incident. Even initially also Brahma is worshipping Vishnu, right? So he takes that water and puts it on the head of this Shiva and he becomes Shiva.
So, Prabhuji, there were actually 11 Rudras, right? Or 11 names were given, because after that they were giving 11 wives also. So,
No,
was
Ekadashi Rudras are there. There are definitely 11 Rudras. They are different forms of this. And Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi. And the Shankara, or what we know as Shiva, he is the topmost among the 11.
okay, Prabhu.
Yes.
And Prabhuji, regarding the head cutting incident of Brahma, in Bhagavatam we see that, Brahma, he started looking at the four direction, who am I? And that's why his 4 heads were produced. But this incident which we say that we say that he was already having 5 heads and 1 head was cut. So this seems a bit confusing.
Okay, let me see that. I am also not sure. I have to search it. I will search and let you know, Popji, when it was cut.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, yes. So
Yes.
sometimes it's said that the Vedas are the Vedic mantras, they should be pronounced only by the Brahmanas. So it is for what section? What is the actual injunction? Like
Yeah, so you
specific
see,
sections of Vedas.
actually all the Vedic mantras, they are with Swara and they are in a krama, they are in a sequence. The sequence of Vedic mantras you cannot change, although grammatically it's allowed to change, but then because they are Vedas, you are not supposed to change it. And they are having Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, Dirgha Swarita. There are different swaras in which we chant the mantras. So that is to be chanted only by the person who receives Brahma Gayatri, who chants the Brahma Gayatri and who does his Upanayana, who does his Sandhyavandana properly. Only that person is allowed to chant the Veda mantra. So all the sections of Vedas, be it Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad, they are all to be chanted only by, just like our Brahma Gayatri we don't give to anyone. Similarly, Veda mantras are supposed to be chanted only after this only.
And also the Hare Krishna mantra, that also comes in some Upanishads.
Yeah,
So
Hare
that
Krishna
is
mantra is
allowed
in
to chant.
Kali Upanishad. I have not researched much on it, but there is a thought that it was supposed to be Hare Rama, and that is why to make it possible for the Mlechas and everyone outcast, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced it in a different form with Hare Krishna first. This is what is told. I don't have any proper proof for that, genuine proof for it.
True, I heard that both.
One thing is quite clear that like a Pancharatra mantra, those who are second initiated know that Pancharatra mantra will have a Omkara Pranama. It will have a Bija and it will have the name of the deity and it will have a Chaturthi Vibhakti offering to the deity. So these are the parts of the Pancharatra mantra generally that are given to those who are part of Vedic culture, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas. Shudras, they are not given pranava, but they are given the whole mantra. Whereas in books,
Prabhu.
yes, bro, just a minute, bro, I'll finish it. In books like Dharma Sindhu, Nirnaya Sindhu, it's also mentioned that for those who are outcasts, those who are away from Vedic culture, the Mlechas, Yavanas, they can also be initiated in Vaishnavism, but without these things, only the name of the Lord. They can chant Krishna, they can chant Vishnu, they can chant Narayana. Just with the name of the Lord, they can be initiated. So that is when this Hare Krishna mantra, if you see the structure, it doesn't have these intricacies. That makes it, being the topmost, it makes it accommodable for everyone to get initiated. Yes, Gaur Prabhu, you have something, then we'll go to Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, I have some information. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, very clear.
Yeah, I have some information regarding Hare Krishna mantra. That what I got is in South India, many they chant Hare Rama starting. And in North India, some of the manuscripts, they are also there. It is written with Hare Krishna in the beginning.
Okay.
So if you consider this, both are right.
Hmm.
That's what I have the information.
Yeah, but then which is the Veda mantra? When we say Kali Santarana Upanishad, it's a Upanishad, so that means it is a Shruti mantra. So
Yeah,
is Hare Rama the Shruti mantra or is Hare Krishna
both.
Shruti
It
mantra?
is both. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Shruti mantra, both are Shruti mantras.
Oh,
Some
okay.
are chanting with Hare Krishna, some are starting with Hare Rama.
Okay. Now, so this is one thing I have not much researched on. Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu, you have something to add to this?
Yes, Prabhu. Vidwan Prabhu some time ago shared a link to Sanat Kumar Samhita.
Hmm.
In that it is written clearly that how the full Mahamantra begins with the Hare Krishna. So
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So that I'll also share that link if you want.
Could be. One thing is that because there are Hare Krishna mantra, I told you the other things associated with it, like the Bija mantra and all, don't seem to be there. That makes it accessible to everyone, and everyone can be initiated into it. And Hare Krishna mantra is alone enough to go back to Godhead. But without initiation, no. There has been debates in Krishna consciousness movement that can we chant without initiation? No. The mantra has to be received from a guru, and when we receive from a guru, then only we can actually offer something to the deity. And when we offer something to the deity, we can get prasadam. And minimum we have to fill our stomach, so at least you require some prasadam. So how prasadam to get, you should have deities to whom you offer, and to offer something to the deities, you require initiation from a guru. So without initiation, it doesn't work. But just you are initiated in Hare Krishna mantra. You should not say just. You are initiated in Hare Krishna mantra. That is sufficient enough to take back to Godhead. Now, if a person can get initiated in further mantras, that makes him get come to the state position of Varnashrama, where you are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and you have specific duties according to your Varna and Ashrama. That is welcome. So to consider that I am second initiated, only I go back to Godhead, no. Even a first initiated person has sufficient tools to go back to Godhead. Or if we say that I don't have Brahma Gayatri, I just have Pancharatra mantras, is that some? No, that is not something lower or something. Brahma Gayatri is meant for a specific function. Similarly, you see in temples and all, people think that second initiated are given deity service. Those who are not initiated are not given deity service. They think that this is something lower, that we are being treated differently. No one, you should understand that that is a specific Brahmana function. When you cut vegetables for the Lord, you are doing the same service. When you chant the holy names in Kirtan, you are doing the same service. When you are brooming the temple before the festival, you are doing the same service. When you are worshipping the deity, you are doing the same service. It is just that that deity worship becomes the profession of a Brahmana, specific profession for the Brahmana, that's all. Otherwise, for the service point of view, there is no difference.
Rama Pramay Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So is there anybody within ISKCON thinking that without receiving Harinam Diksha, we can go back to Godhead? Is
There are
it like
paper
that?
written by senior devotees also, very senior devotees. There are papers written that because Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrar Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kala, this is used as a primary pramana, and the whole paper is written that Harinama is enough and initiation is not required, and it was with the purpose of making room to accommodate Ritviks also.
No, can you comment about Rutvik? I didn't get you. Other I
The
got you.
non-Ritvik camp itself, some of the devotees, some of the very senior devotees in non-Ritvik camp itself had written this paper to provide room for Ritviks also to stay within ISKCON. That, okay, without initiation also we can go back to Godhead. But then it will lead to further problems actually.
Okay.
Accept that.
So if that is the case, then why during, what is that? During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, Gadadhar Pandit takes initiation that is recorded in CC, right?
Yes.
What is his name? That person.
Pundarika Vidyanidhi.
Yeah, Pundarika Vidyanidhi. That is recorded in CC directly.
Yes. That
So
initiation is very important.
what do they say about this?
No, but then they will say that how can you justify Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis? So that is one thing that is used.
Well, that's okay. Namna Makari is there. We are not denying that. What about this example? During
Yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Yeah,
presence,
you have to
Galadhar
answer that.
Pandit took initiation. What is their answer for that?
Yeah. Debate is going on that.
See, Prabhu, overall, there should be some system that has been introduced by Bhaksidanta Saraswati Thakur. First Harinam, then Diksha and all. Before that, it was mostly like Babaji, just simply following just Siksha only.
No,
So,
Mantra Diksha was there since before, just that it has been institutionalized by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Prabhupada. Otherwise, some form of mantras were anyway given. Ramanujacharya gave, Madhvacharya gave. So some system was there.
yes, so when you give this mantra, then you become a guru. The
Yes,
person who is taking become disciple, who is
yes,
giving becomes the master.
yes. In
There
fact,
is
mantras
master.
are many. You see, astrologers have their own mantras. The what is that? The Vaidyas who are Ayurvedic Vaidyas, they have their own mantras. They have their
Yes.
paramparas. The Natya Shastra has its own mantras. So many, is full.
Yeah. Yeah. Everywhere there is parampara.
Yes.
Now, if you say that there is no need of no officially taking any mantra from anybody, just you can chant, then it becomes
It is a big problem actually. Very simple.
become
You
havoc.
cannot eat You cannot eat prasadam, Prabhuji. If you
Then
because
what about this Rupa Goswami says no
no.
that if you do devotion on your own, what is that sloka? I forgot suddenly.
Ekantiki harer bhakti rotpate vidhi.
Ikantika
Shruti
Harer
Shruti
Bhakti.
Purana Adi
Yeah,
Pancharatik vidhi vina. Ekantiki
there
harer.
is no vidhi then, no.
Yes,
Just
yes.
you chant holy name, there is no vidhi. Then
Yeah.
you are simply denying Rupa Goswami then.
Yes, yes.
Prabhu, you told that after initiation only one could offer to deities, but in the centers when there are not installed deities, so those who are not initiated they also offer. So is it allowed? Or not?
Yeah, some clarity on Vedic system is required in this regard, Mohan Radha Prabhu. Good question you asked. If you see in the past, there were everyone would get Upanayana in childhood. The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas would get Upanayana. Shudras would get Pancharatric mantras also in their childhood as a part of family tradition. And worship would be already be done by their elders at home. So everyone had Shaligram at home or DT at home, something at home, and the elders would worship. And when the elders would worship, they would offer bhoga and that would become prasada and the children would eat. Gradually, as the children took initiation, they would continue the parampara. So there was no stoppage. Now in Krishna consciousness, what is happening is we are newly introducing Brahmanas, we are newly introducing Dvijas. So under those circumstances, first let them take Harinam, then we will evaluate them, let them come to the level of Brahmana Diksha or second initiation. Once they take second initiation, they are allowed into altar. And once they are allowed into altar, then they will do deity worship, then they will do offerings. This is the system which was set up by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada. Now, this is okay. Initially, it's very good to start with because everything is temple centered. Devotees come to temple and have prasad. At home, what we tell Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yume Bhaktya Pranishya. So out of devotion, you offer to with leaf and water. It's okay. So you keep a photo of the Lord and you offer. It becomes prasad. That's okay. If we really want to establish this system, then every home should have initiated devotees and their parampara with children, grandchildren, continuing the Vamsha parampara of Shaligrama worship at their home. That is when actually generations together we will be able to have this mantra system and deity worship. So now, because we are not ready for this, in some places what they are doing is they will say that some deities are installed deities, some deities are non-installed deities, and non-installed deities anybody can worship, installed deities only second initiated worship. So like this, all these new ideas, but there is, in Vedic culture, there is no concept of non-installed deity. Deity is a deity, whether installed or non-installed. Installation is, Prana Pratishtha is a process from which from now we are going to begin to worship officially. But without that, anyway, worship cannot be offered to deities. So this is some new concoction that we have come up with. Okay, at least if we can, ISKCON can say that at least second initiated devotees start offering. At home, you out of love and of this obligation offer something to the Lord, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. But gradually over generations, if we want to continue, we should really bring this home worship concept. That is when it will be strong.
Prabhu, I have a small question within
Yes, sir.
ISKCON. What's
Yes.
going on is some devotees, most probably Jayapataka Maharaj disciples, they say they bring to their home some deities. They say that these are welcome deities. I don't know.
No, it is, you cannot say one spiritual master, Prabhu. It is not, it's so offensive to say about that. One thing we should be clear is that there are people who seriously follow in all Krishna conscious centers. There are people who really seriously follow very high standards also. At the same time, it can happen that some people who are very new to Krishna consciousness and don't know about the culture, what they do is that they sometimes bring deities. However, we should understand that when Prabhupada could not worship the deity, he wanted to pack it in a box. But Prabhupada, being a pure devotee, he was instructed to continue the worship. Whereas that will not be with us. When we should clearly understand that when we are not duly initiated and when we don't have the specific pancharatra mantras, for example, those who are accustomed to shodashopchar puja, those who have done shodashopchar puja, you know about it, that when I put a flower, there is a bija mantra, with that I should give flower. When I give a vastra, there is a bija mantra, with that bija mantra I should give vastra. Similarly, when I offer Nevedya, there is a bija mantra for that. Everything is mantra, mantra, mantra. With mantra only. This is the Pancharatrik Vidi. In a Vedic Vidi, there are Veda mantras. That also are there. There are Veda mantras which we offer each and everything to the Lord. So, everything is with mantra and those mantras are received from Guru. So, the actual procedure that we follow, it will be with the mantra. So, that is why those who are not duly initiated, it's better that they delay the worship of deities and concentrate on chanting the holy names and gradually come to that level. But at the same time, that doesn't discount bringing grahasthas to the level of this. Even grahasthas should come up to the level and they should start worshipping deities. We cannot just say that temple is the center and grahasthas individually need not worship. So that anyway has to be instituted.
So I didn't finish, Prabhu. Actually, you came in between.
No,
So
my
what I
only
was
reason to this was that it might create controversies when we create a point individual groups. It can happen
no,
that
no,
there
no,
are
no,
deviations everywhere.
no, no, no. I'm not pointing individual group. I'm telling because mostly I have seen, and even with other Maharaj disciples also, even non-initiated devotees within ISKCON, because of some influence of some YouTuber or some online preacher. So online preachers are encouraging, and they are bringing deities to their home, and they are showing in their Zoom and like this, and they are saying, okay, we can worship deities at home. It's not just only, I am not pointing only particular Maharaj. It's happening everywhere. So my question is, it's not proper, no, that no, deities means deities. You said that deities means deity, that's all. Krishna is there, that's it. There is nothing called welcome deity. This is a separate deity, this is another deity, only weekly deity, Sunday deity, nothing like that, right? That is what my question.
Yeah, one thing is that if you see in culture, there are some special deities which are worshipped once in a year also on special occasions. But
Yes, that I know, I know that
other
because
times they are kept in the altar in a respectable place in the box, and at least one flower is offered to the box. Even if they're kept in box. Nowadays, what is happening, I have seen, is that they have almiras in which they will keep the deities only during festival time. 15 deities come out to 15 places, and after that they go back in the almira. That is not the right standard we should do. Deity means it is Lord and it should be worshipped immediately.
yeah, that's what my question means.
Yes.
Deity means you should regularly, daily worship, daily offer Naivedya, Dhupa Deepa, and offer Arati, then
Yes.
everything should
The
be
traditional
there.
system is that if
Yeah,
deities,
I know the traditional system of some temples, Prabhu.
no,
Weekly
no,
once they will open some
even
temples.
in that case, in a house or temple, if you are packing in box, at least there should be one shaligrama at your home, and that shaligrama you must offer. So through that shaligrama, it goes to the deity. At least that shaligrama should represent the deity and it should be offered. So that was the system.
So now the point is welcome deity and these concepts are not proper, right? Not
Yeah, they
according to
should
the
be,
Vedas.
we should preach about it. Yes.
Okay, fine.
Prabhu, Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu, just 1 minute. Mohan Radhaprati Prabhu, your doubt is clear?
So, I mean, it was little more actually like when we worship the picture of photos of deities, deities who are installed in temples. So that's what we do actually in the
No,
youth center.
that is a system in ISKCON we have adopted for simplicity, that you are not ready for worship and our elders are also not ready. We don't have elders who are worshipping Shaligram at home. So, okay, Lord has to be offered something and we are not temple residents. So let's start with picture. That is a system we have come up with. It's okay. It's not a wrong thing because ultimately Patram Pushpam Phalam Tvayam principle is followed. It's not wrong in that. But long term, we should become eligible to worship deities. It is said that before prasadam, without Charanamrita, you cannot take prasadam. Before prasadam, you must honor Charanamrita and then take prasadam in Hari Bhakti Vilas it mentions. So, every day Charanamrita must be available. So, every day there should be worship of deity.
Yes, sir. On that only one more question it comes, like when the injunctions of Hari Bhakti Vilas it comes, like when Prabhupada, he like in his how he dealt with his centers, so he allowed all the potatoes or these carrots and so many things. So he didn't take much care or to follow the Hari Bhakti Vilas principle. So how we could understand or reconcile both that Hari Bhakti
So,
Vilas,
you see,
the injunctions and
if you see the preaching strategy of Prabhupada, initially he began with just the Harinam, and if you see in the first initiation, there was no condition even about four regulative principles. There was no condition about chanting 16 rounds. Who are coming to the temple, he just initiated them. Gradually, he set some rules that, okay, initiated devotees should do this. Then he started bringing them up. Then Bhakti Shastri for second initiated. So he did not say about second initiation. He said Bhakti Shastri. First Bhakti Shastri was just some 10 questions. That's all. Then gradually he said 4 books. Further, he wanted that Bhakti Vaibhav means Brahma Sutras. We should study Vedanta Sutras and Govinda Bhashya for Bhakti Vaibhav. That is still far away from even today. Even today's ISKCON, we are far away from that. So Prabhupada gave us a roadmap of progress. Initially, he accepted certain standards. Something like onion garlic is not acceptable at all. But at least some things which are acceptable in Bengali culture or Indian culture, at least those things which are acceptable already in culture, that he accommodated. And he has set a roadmap that if you can go ahead in future for better, definitely it's welcome.
Okay, understood.
Ojasvi Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu, may I know till what do you say? How much we should be following these Gayatri Sandhyas? We don't see Prabhupada emphasizing on it, and to the best of my knowledge, I haven't heard Siddhanta Thakur talking about.
Yes.
Gayatri
So Madhavendra Puri said that my 3 times Sandhya, I offer obeisances to you. Okay. So please forgive me. But at the same time, you see, Madhavendra Puri also says that taking bath, I offer obeisances to you. I don't have time for that because I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Other things also, I don't have time. So there is one Brahma Sutra in the fourth, what is that? Fourth Adhyaya. There is a Brahma Sutra which says that karma nivritti happens through jnana. When you are on the platform of knowledge, you need not perform karmas perfectly because nobody can do all karmas perfectly. There will be some fault in every endeavor. So these karmas gradually, when your jnana increases, there will be nivritti of the karmas. That is why when a person takes sannyasa, he is purely on a jnana marga and it is okay for him to have karma nivritti. Now, when we are
Can you be little elaborate about karma nivritti? Means when you have got the knowledge, you need not do the action. Is it so?
No, when you have got the knowledge, if there are some faults in the action or if some things are not done, it's acceptable. Because the sin that is caused by not doing the sin caused by not doing Sandhya Vandana in the morning. By missing the Gayatri, there is a sin. For that, there is a prayaschitta we have to do. Similarly, the right time, if you don't do every day, if you don't do yatnya, grahastha has to do yatnya every day. There is a sin of not doing it. But a jnani, when he gets the knowledge, some of these things, if he doesn't do perfectly, if he misses little bit, it's acceptable because he is on the platform of jnana already. Okay, now bhakti is the parakashta of jnana, highest level of knowledge. So when a person is in devotional service, if some things are missed, it's okay. one thing I have to clarify. First of all, are we on that level of highest level of jnana? If not, then gradually we have to start working out reviving this Vedic culture. Okay, because for people like us, we might continue to do sins. So, what is simple? Sandhya Vandana Vidhi is very simple. You offer argya to Surya Narayana Bhagwan 3 times. You hold water in the hand and you offer it to Surya Narayana and leave it. And then you, before that, you take sankalpa that I am doing Sandhya Vandana, and you do argya, and then you start doing your Gayatri. And for chanting Gayatri, there should be some Dikbandanas and there should be some Nyasa and Mudra that are to be done. If you see 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Putana is killed, Krishna is held on the lap by gopis, and gopis are chanting mantras. They are also received in parampara mantras. They are chanting the mantras and they are doing nyasas and mudras for installing the mantra in that area and then chanting it. They are following the full detailed procedure like Sandhya Vandana for women. Whatever is there, they are following. If you see the purport of that, see, these are gopis. They are on the highest level of devotion. They are in Vrindavan, which is the highest place of rasa. They are in the highest place of rasa. They are in Vatsalya Bhava and they are in Vrindavan, most pure place. And they are doing all these nyasas and mudras, which are similar to Sandhya Vandana. And the topmost Vedantist of the 21st century, of the 20th century, who has given Vyakhyana on this Bhagavatam. What does he write in this Bhaktivedanta purports? He could have said that, oh, this was for a different age. For us, none of this is required. Did he say that? If you read the purport, he says that unfortunately, Indians have given up all these things. So, immediately Prabhupada did not introduce, but through these purports, you understand that he wants us to take up these things in future, so that those who are not on the highest level of purity, they will be gradually purified by these procedures. Even before chanting any mantra like Gayatri or anything, there are certain procedures to be adopted so that while chanting Gayatri, if somebody sees, that drushti can disturb our Gayatri. Whereas if you follow these procedures, it will not disturb. So Prabhupada has hinted that these things should come, and unfortunately Indians have given up. So these things are required. That is one thing. Prabhuji, I am a pure devotee. I am on the highest level. I have taken to Bhakti. I have read the whole Bhagavatam. I have read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am on the highest level. Does it mean that for me there is nivritti of this karma? I can leave it? There, Baldev Vidyabhushan in the same Brahma Sutra Bhashya, he writes that if he is a grahastha, even if he is pure in knowledge, he should be like Janakadaya. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astitya Janakadaya lokasangramevapi sampashyan kartumadasi. Janaka, being the father-in-law of the Supreme Lord, such a pure devotee, still he performed everything properly. Why? Because he has to be a role model for others who are not so pure. And yadi hyam na varteyam karyam karmanya katanata mama vartamanu vartante manusya parsa. Lord is telling about himself. I also have to do this perfectly. Because if I don't do it perfectly, then others will follow my role model. When Akrura was taking Krishna Balram to Vrindavan, why did he stop to take bath? Because that was Sandhya time. He had to get into water, do Sandhya Vandana and come back. And Krishna Balram did not do Sandhya Vandana because they were still not having Gayatri. When they went to killing Kamsa, after that, his father initiated into Gayatri and then sent them to Gurukula. So Krishna Balram were on chariot, Akrura got into the water. Supreme Lord is there, such a highest position, still Akrura followed this Vidhi properly. So these things should gradually come in the Krishna consciousness moment for those who are conditioned souls, and for those who are liberated souls who are not sannyasis but who can be role model for others. Because there is no guarantee that our children, our future devotees, they will all be on the pure platform. What will happen is that we did not give them pure devotion, we did not give them karma, so that way they are just slipping into papa. So that should not happen. That is an important thing we should understand. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, that helps. But then how are we going to introduce this?
Yeah. So after this, I plan to introduce a Yajna course. And in the Yajna course, in the beginning, some of these Nitya Grahastha karmas, every day which a Grahastha has to do. So some of these karmas like how to do this Sandhya Vandana, how to do deity worship, how to do the everyday Yajna for a Grahastha. These are some things I'll be introducing. And then I will be taking to the detailed Yajnas for different samskaras. So when that comes up, we will try to do this.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay, Prabhu, so it is 4 p.m. And you all can note down your questions if you have. Last week and previous week, I have not given questions to this. Altogether, I will send the questions to tomorrow or something. So tomorrow we'll take up this discussion further. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Bevacha, Patidanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Rama Pramay Prabhu.